Hello, Internet. So today is Monday, February 10th, and I'm preparing to go to TMEA this week. So for those of you who haven't heard of TMEA or not familiar with it, it is the Texas Music Educators Association, and every February they have a huge conference and trade show in San Antonio, Texas. And I've been wanting to go for a while because I'm finding myself working a lot more in the band world. I love writing for band and wind ensemble. And so I've been wanting to go to TMEA for the last few years, just haven't been able to manage it. But this year I made it work, and I'm gonna go for the first time. And it's big. I mean, the conference is enormous. There's a huge trade show. A lot of publishers go there. A lot of instrument manufacturers and other companies that cater to music programs. And pretty much every choir, orchestra, and band music director at the middle school and high school level are going to be there. Even a lot of college directors go there. And so it's a huge show. It's important, I think, for me to be there since that's the area that I've decided to focus most on. And I suspect, I don't know for sure, I guess I'll find out, but I suspect that it's the perfect time that when the directors are looking for new music to purchase, because otherwise why would the publishers be there if they're not going to be making sales at the event? So I don't know that for sure, but I strongly suspect that. So just the whole process of getting ready, making sure all of my scores are ready, that they look published, that they look good. That has been a tremendous amount of work. And a lot of things you don't think about, like, not just having a perfectly clean and pristine published looking score, but all the front matter that goes with that. You got the title page, you got your instrumentation list, your program notes, any, learning objectives, if it's a piece that's aimed at the educational level. All of that takes a lot of work. Plus there's the printing aspect of it, deciding how you're going to bind it. I had to buy a new printer. I didn't have a large format printer, so I bought a big inkjet printer so I could print some of my bigger scores. But then there's other work that goes into it, like deciding, what kind of promotions you're going to have at the show. Because, if I'm going to make sales, there should be an incentive, right, to purchase at the show versus someone just saying, oh, well, if I can go on the website at any time, I'll just do that when I want to. So, that's something I've learned. I spent some time in marketing, and so you have to give a compelling reason for someone to buy now. And during a limited time promotion, something that they're only going to get at the show, that I think that's important to have. And so going through and deciding what those promotions are going to be, what is most likely to sell at an event like this, and also getting the point of sale system set up. I have everything set up in Shopify right now. That's kind of what I'm using to manage my sales. So just all the settings and getting all that set up is just a tremendous amount of work. Plus there's merchandising, thinking about, not just being some guy sitting at a table with stacks of paper on it. I wanted to think about, well, what's it going to look like when somebody walks by? Like, is it going to be immediately obvious what I am or what I do? So I wanted everything that I've done to actually be visible and laid out, and vertical, not just as stacks, but vertical, like merchandising. Like there's a space for every product. So that's not going to be perfect because I have too many things and I was kind of running up against the limit of my budget, but I've got most of it is going to be up vertical and visible when you walk by, which I think will help a lot because it kind of, in that you'll be able to see almost my whole catalog in this three-dimensional space, which I think is important, just like a publisher does. I mean, the publisher is going to have all of their music out and visible and browsable, right? That was important. So right now I've got about, it's going to be about $2,000 is about how much, by the time you total everything, the table, the cost of the trip, the stuff that I had to buy and the materials and buying the printer, I'm going to have about $2,000 in it. And honestly, I'm a little bit nervous about that because I don't know, am I going to get any of that back right away? Am I going to at least break even? Will I make a profit? I don't know. I'm hoping that I'll make a profit on it, in part just because, well, obviously, we need to be able to make money for what we do. So I'm hoping that there's some profit in it. Because I do need a computer. Like that is been a big frustration as I've been getting this stuff ready. My newest computer is 7 years old. I have a laptop, an iMac, a little AirBook. It's an AirBook. That's about 7 years old. I bought that in 2018 when I first came to Dallas. And then my desktop computer is an iMac, and that's 9 years old. And so the small computer is really too small for working on big scores. I got to do that at the desktop. But that computer is constantly like having to reboot. My Dorco program will get locked up. I got to restart the program. A lot of times I got to restart the computer. I got to do it several times before it somehow finds stability for a while for me to get more work done. So it's time. I mean, 9 years. It's about as long as you could expect a computer to be working for you. And my laptop is not current. It's not activated because I just don't have enough space. I need to, at the very minimum, get a bigger flash drive in there so I could update the operating system. Because I'm constantly running against issues with that, just running out of space. It was a Air Mac. Is that what they're called? MacBook Air. That's what it is. MacBook Air. And it has like a 125 gig hard drive, which is almost nothing if you're working on music. So anyway, just computer frustrations have been part of what I've been dealing with the last week. Also, I planned on creating a video last week because I wanted to talk about composing as an act of service, not composing as a service, composing as an act of service. And I have a lot of thoughts about that I would like to share. And I've got a draft of a blog article that I need to finish up and post. But I got sick last week. I came down with some kind of upper respiratory thing, lost a couple of days of productivity, and I've been a little stressed out in getting everything ready for the show. So I didn't get that blog finished. I didn't get that video done. I'll probably do that next week because this week is TMEA. And I'll try to do a video while I'm at TMEA showing you the booth and the place. But anyway, I'm very excited. It's a big week. I don't know exactly what's going to happen. It could be that I don't make anything and I'm out to 2,000, but I'm not looking at it as being out to 2,000. It's an investment because as of right now, I've done a lot of stuff. I feel very good about the work that I've done, but not many people know about me. So showing up at a place like TMEA is a great place for me to go and kind of start being known, start being visible. And it really comes down to a marketing problem, right? That's where people go. That's where my market goes. So that it's important for me to be there. So whether I make any money back, whether I make any sales at all, to me, it's still gonna be important for me to be there. I'll just consider that as an investment. But if I can at least make my money back from what I paid for to go, well, to me, that'll be fantastic, right? Because I'm still going to come out ahead. I'll be more visible and I'll have made my money back. But then also, if I can make a profit beyond that, that would be even more amazing. So we'll see what happens and I'll report what happens at the show. So that's it for now. I'll see you later in the week at TMEA.